Hey everyone, we are live on Friday, November 24th in the aftermath of the Miami Dolphins 34-13 win against the New York Jets, which went a kind of sort of how we predicted, but unfortunately came at a price, which
Definitely.
sucked. It's episode 138. We're not going to Patrick Cobbs. There you go. We'll do one very quickly. He was on the receiving end of a touchdown pass from Chad Pennington in the Wildcat season of 2008 on the flea flicker, which was a very cool play.
One of the original core components of the Wildcat era, and I believe he's a assistant coach in a college level. Let me find out where.
Okay. Now, while you do that, I'll go ahead and very quickly. Again, we knew the Dolphins were much more talented than the Jets, which they were. You look at the total yardage. I don't have the final numbers in front of me, but it was something along the lines of 396. Go ahead, Omar.
North Texas running back. That was the university that he actually played at, collegiately at. Yes, continue with your recap of the.
Which I believe the total yardage was like 396 to maybe 150. The Jets are. Dolphins defense is coming on and playing well, but the Jets offense is, oh my Lord.
And 395 to 158. Woo.
Okay. There you go. And our good friend Antoine, I feel so bad for him having to watch that team every week. Oof. So I don't know if we start with the Javon Holland play, which was a crazy play. And okay, guys, for those who could not resist, are like, see, he made a play. Okay, let's put him in the Hall of Fame. So now that's settled. That Javon.
No, listen. I don't know why people can't keep this in perspective. Everybody says Javon Holland is the best safety in the game. He's the best safety in the NFL. Analytics say he's the best safety in the NFL. And all we said was, okay, where are the game-changing type caliber plays? Well, that was definitely a game-changing type caliber play, a pick off of a Hail Mary and a run back of 99 yards. Phenomenal play for a guy who has great return skills, who actually handled punt returns as a rookie. Phenomenal play, shows that he can be an impactful player. Let's just see a couple more of them in the second half of the season. Great defensive performance. This will continue to help them push up into the upper 10s of the NFL. I have a hard time believing 159 is not going to get you.
Are you going to do that again, Omar? Are we going to put him in the top 5 again?
Not the top 5, at least get him in the top 10. I think I'm being too aggressive by asking to be in the top 5, but I mean, I think they've held a lot of their opponents to under 200 yards of offense during the Jalen Ramsey return and era. This is probably at least the second opponent that they've held. Actually, I might have it written down here. No,
I'm not sure, but here's the thing, though. Now they're going to have to go the rest of the way, barring something very unforeseen without Jaylen Phillips.
Yeah, I mean that's an immediate. You saw it when he started looking back. They say with athletes, when you're looking back, like as if somebody like stepped on your foot or kicked your leg, that's a key sign that it's an Achilles, and that's a difficult rehab. You saw the tears, so you definitely know tears is a great indicator of a player who is pretty much done for the season. And that's going to hurt because Jaylen had been playing so good. I think you can argue that he was one of the top 5 performers in that game. I probably put him behind only Christian Wilkins, who was a monster in that game. And Jaylen, you feel horrible for him because you know how much work that he put in to be playing at the level that he was. Finally regaining his confidence, and then something like that happens. But that's the nature of the NFL. That is the nature of that sport.
No, and unfortunately it happened, and yeah, that stadium sucks. The turf at that stadium sucks.
Are you blaming that on the turf? Because
no, absolutely. And in fact, I think it was somebody put out a tweet. It may have been Jeremy Fowler put out a tweet. An NFL's exec said something along those lines of MetLife Stadium got another one. And this is where Aaron Rodgers popped an Achilles. And the thing with this play is, forget about looking back. If you look at his feet when the play happened, is one of those where you could clearly see a pop. It's clear as day. And so, and the second that happens, it's no contact. And the Dolphins announced that it was an Achilles injury. and you saw him getting carted off the field with the towel, the hand in the face. Yeah, IR coming up, and that's not going to be designated for return this season. Very, very unfortunately, and this puts back Andrew Van Ginkel in the spotlight.
Yeah, the one fortunate thing about that situation is you've got depth at that position. Not only just Andrew Van Ginkel, who we both know had been playing phenomenally until Jaylen Phillips finally got it greased up and going, but also Emmanuel Agba. He's been AWOL pretty much most of the season, or you relegated to severe backup time. This is going to give him an opportunity to at least finish the season playing in the final. How many they got left? What is it? 6
games. They're 8-3. Exactly where we were last year.
Oh, this is the exact same point before the decline.
Correct.
Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm not saying there's not a decline coming like last year's because the schedule is different. But if we're going to be honest about it, there are signs of concern right now about how far they will be able to go, and those signs of concern are on offense mostly. And now, does the defense look the same without Jaylen Phillips? Because yes, they do have depth, but there's a drop off, especially with the way the dude had been playing in recent weeks.
Oh, come on! Was there a drop off with Andrew Van Ginkel? When Van Ginkel was there and playing and regular, he was the top player on the defense. Tell the truth. Was he or was he not the top player on the defense when he was in his moment and shining?
He was one of the top players, but
who was better than him?
And Omar, hold on. This is where I love you, my friend, but God bless it, are you not consistent?
Wait. When Andrew Van Ginkel was playing, were we not talking about him being the top player on that?
I don't know if I'd have to go back to say was the top. He was one of the top performers on defense. Absolutely. Sorry?
Who was playing better than him at that point? Steve Ross, the owner of the team, was congratulating Van Ginkel after games, was looking and searching for Van Ginkel after games.
Dude, I'm not arguing that point, but I'm saying, again, you go from having 3 stud outside linebackers, if we're going to put Van Ginkel in that category, to 2. And you can't be talking about injuries affecting the offense. And then now they lose one of their top defensive players, and you're like, it's not a big right. Nothing's going to happen.
I didn't say it's not going to impact them.
Thank you.
What I am saying is Andrew Van Ginkel has been a stud. He's shined. He's starred. He's really, the more snaps that he got, the better he played because he was starting to set up defenders. Now, he's going to play more snaps? Yes. Is maybe Emmanuel Agba going to enter the rotation? Absolutely. Is that going to take your defense down a notch, a tad? Yeah, okay. So maybe in the final stretch of games, you're going to be a top 10 unit instead of a top 5 unit in terms of statistical performances.
But that to me is combined with my bigger concern is that the offense is going to be able to maintain a certain level, come down the stretch. They got away with some crap today. Again, they got away with some crap last week against Las Vegas. Let's be honest about it.
Okay. Too many turnovers.
Well, and it's like, and it's interesting though, because I'm like defending Tua should have had a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill in the first quarter, and I made the point that, oh my God, are you serious? Please go look at the replay again. That lob in the corner of the end zone was twice as good a pass as he threw in the opener against the Chargers, where it's either a pass batted away or a pick if the cornerback ever bothers to turn around. This one was over Gardner and over Tyreek, where all he has to do is outstretch his hands and catch the ball. And Tyreek dropped it. That, by the way, and then there were a lot of people who were like, oh my God, what a perfect. No, that wasn't in week 1. That one was the one today, and Tyreek dropped it. But then you got that lollipop on the out to Braxton Berrios, who doesn't create immediate 5-yard separation like Waddle and Tyreek. And Brandon Echols goes, oh, thank you very much. I'll take that and go the other way. You can't have that. I'm sorry. You can't have. That was the only thing that could keep the Jets in the game.
Interceptions at the end of the half. Horrible.
Yes.
And I tweeted out initially, I'm like, I bet, because there was like 58 seconds left. And I'm like, Mike McDaniel better not dial it down with his offense and his playmakers. And he didn't. And it led to another interception. And I was like, okay, maybe there's a good reason to dial it down, just like maybe there's a good reason for you to take a knee instead of running the ball at the end of the game like the University of Miami did. The lessons learned. What I will say is, as bad as Jaylen Phillips' injury is, you have a capable backup, probably the best backup on the entire team for that specific position. Teron Armstead going down, sitting out or resting.
We don't know the severity of that one.
We don't know the severity of it, but I mean, let's be real about it. Like, he showed up late to practice on the one day that they practiced this week. Let's
with
not
with a knee injury, and now it's a quad.
But you know all of that stuff.
I know the knee bone's connected to the quad bone's connected to the.
You know all that stuff is connected. And the focus was for Teron to play the final half of the season. Yes, I have a lot of confidence. That's probably the second best backup on the team in Kendall Lamb. But as we know, Kendall Lamb went into this game with a back injury. So, he probably shouldn't have played, but he did play out of need, especially when Austin Jackson gets kicked out of the game. So, you gotta be a little bit concerned with where they are. I came into this game concerned with where the offensive line was from a health standpoint, from a depth standpoint.
Dude, they rushed for 169 yards. What's you want concern about offensive line injuries? Look at the Jets.
I get it. Just because I'm concerned doesn't mean you got to throw it in my face that the team that you played has a worse offensive line and more injuries. I get that. I get
it's overblown. My whole point is I think that's a little
bit.
The
offensive line issue is overblown?
Yes, I think the overline issue is overblown. Because again, here's what I'm going to tell you, okay? Because Kirk Herbstreit wouldn't stop saying it every 2 seconds. Tua gets rid of the ball very, very quickly. Of course, not mentioning the fact that a lot of it it's a combination of a lot of things. Quick decisions by Tua, receivers getting open, very, very quickly. There's also a bunch of shovel passes and quick wide receiver screens. Those are added to an average. You know how long it takes to go one step and throw it very quickly to Tyreek?
Sounds like a good offense to me.
Sorry?
I said, sounds like a good offense to me.
No, it does. But what I'm making the point that this thing about like the average time to throw, again, when you're talking about that, it factors in everything. And I don't think, and because of that, the Dolphins don't put as much pressure on their offensive line as a lot of teams do, because there's not a whole lot of times that Tua is asked to hang on to the ball for a long time.
Yeah, but on some of the bigger developing plays, he is asked to hang on to the ball for a little while. But they're blocking those up. They're calling those strategically. They're setting them up. But I will argue this point to my death, Poupart, to my death.
Don't do that. It's football. It's not that serious. Go ahead.
That there are things that Mike McDaniel has to take out of his playbook. I would probably estimate about 20% of his plays just because his offensive line cannot hold up and cannot protect, and he cannot trust it as it presently is constructed. Now, what I liked about this game is I saw some of the motions return on the what? You say no to that?
I'm trying to think of plays because we saw a wide variety of plays. We saw an end around, we saw a jet sweep, we saw the one-on-one throw to Jaylen Waddle and
okay. And what about the plays where it takes it takes a 5-step drop, 7-step drops, give your quarterback time to read and a receiver time to get open downfield? What about those plays? Not Tyreek magic, but actually,
those are when they do that, those are Tyreek plays. So that's not
okay. But before Tyreek's going for 2,000 yards, there used to be Jaylen Waddle magic. You remember those plays? I know there was back in the day.
You mean before Tyreek got here when he was averaging 9 yards per catch?
No. I'm talking about last season when they were actually delivering big plays to Jaylen Waddle, and it wasn't just a Tyreek show. Those are developing. Those are plays that took some time to develop. And right now, hell, to River Craycraft and to Trent Sherfield, it wasn't always the Tyreek show. Not that I'm complaining about the Tyreek show, because I'm definitely not. He suffered another injury today, which is like injury number 4 to Tyreek. But you know what? He'll be bounced back tomorrow and saying the exact same thing he always says: cheetah don't get hurt. And we're just so accustomed to it, and we take it for granted. But literally, Tyreek is probably out there playing at maybe 80%, 70%. But he's still the most dynamic, dominant player in the game. But it can't just be the Tyreek show. And I know Jaylen Waddle had 100 yards today, and that's a step in the right direction because Jaylen's probably a guy that they needed to get going a little bit more if they're going to be a little bit more balanced. And I still say they need to find a third complementary player. Who that is, I have no idea. But yes, there are areas that this team needs to improve. But get back to my original point. Hey, Mila, how are you? High five. Bump. Give a fist bump. You can't be on camera with your passy. You got to take it out. You got to take it out. What happened?
Okay, while we wait for you coming back, Omar, because you can have a conversation with Mila. I'll go ahead and
I had to deal with a boo-boo. Okay.
No, I hear you. I'm not necessarily. To me, if they have the running game going, they can do Hill and Waddle, and they're not going to have a third receiver with any kind of volume of reception. That's just not going to happen. There's too much Tyreek, and then to me, strictly getting Waddle more involved like they did today, that's good enough. And then you got the running game, which finished with like 169 yards, a lot of which, as I predicted, because it wasn't really that difficult to predict, a lot of it in the second half when the Jets, when you're on offense protecting the lead and all you have to do is basically run the ball and kill the clock.
But that's not that. Don't act like that's an easy thing to do. When you're trying to kill the clock and run a 4-minute offense, that's hard. Only really good teams can do that. And they managed to do that. Even Raheem.
You're missing my point though. You get a bigger volume of carries. This is why the numbers will be better in the second half. I'm not taking anything away. I mean, hat tip for 46 yards after the recovery of the onside kick. But once they got the first down, I mean, again, it's not like the Jets had any shot because again, that offense is just.
Yeah, no, the Jets. That was probably the most putrid offense that I might have ever seen. And it rivaled or exceeded some Cameron Dolphin offenses. That was pretty pathetic. But then again, keep in mind that they were facing a very stingy Dolphins defense that has been holding opponents to fewer than 200 yards. That performance by Tim Boyle. What is his Boyle? Which one was he? Tim?
That offense sucks with a capital S, capital U, capital.
It's because you get 7 sacks. Doesn't mean it's. I would love to see them play somebody else.
It sucks to no end. The offensive line is a complete sieve, and the quarterback has maybe a tad more mobility than I do. It's completely, and I'm the one who's been pumping up the Dolphin defense for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
Yes.
That offense completely sucks, which is why they had no shot in this game. And they took advantage. I mean, Wilkins had 2 sacks, Phillips had 1, Deshaun had Indiana had 1. Sorry, 7.
7 sacks. I don't even know how to count how many people had sacks.
They split 1. I don't know why it was split. Should we go ahead and tackle some of these?
Yes, absolutely. Let's tackle some of these questions. You got to bring them up.
Okay, I'll take care of it. We'll go with this one here because this will go to our at 92-yard drive in the third with playoff football ran tough. Yep, it was nothing but running plays. There was 1 shovel pass and 1 short completion. Everything else was run. Like took 9 minutes off the clock. That was absolutely playoff stuff.
Mm-hmm. It was. I love those offenses when you know the team knows you're going to run and you're able to run and consistently suck up the clock and convert third downs. I love those 8-minute drives. They're a thing of beauty.
Yep. Go ahead. This one you can address. This one.
Time to hit the panic button with turnovers. I've always defended him, but he's starting to turn it over much more than I would like. I will say this, and it's not going to be a popular opinion. It's probably going to upset Tuanon.
You're going to go there.
Yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm not disappointed with where Tua is. However, I do think and have a theory that maybe his arm is getting tired. Because that floater, those 2 interceptions were absolute floaters and passes that were needed and required a little bit more zip. And yes, we're here at game number 11 or 12, and it's been a long season. The arm gets a little tired. Maybe you need to decrease that pitch count during the week of practice. And I think that that's something that they might need to look at, because I know I know ball placement is not an issue for Tua. Now, is he going to get intercepted and throw picks? Yes, but ball placement is not an issue for Tua, unless that arm's getting a little tired. You have no response and no comment to that.
No, I do have a massive response. I'm trying to find the proper way to.
You're trying to diplomatically say it so Tuanon takes, so I get all the Tuanon bullets.
No, I'm not sure. I'm buying the old. By the way, and if Tua's arm is getting tired, it's November. That would be completely ridiculous. So no, I'm not buying it. The thing is, a lot of it is he throws. Let's not kid ourselves. He throws a lot to wide open receivers, and he's very accurate. I'm not denying that. The thing with Berrios, and the thing with the Berrios throw is this was an out route where if the timing wasn't right, it allowed the defender Brandon Nichols the time to jump in front, catch it, and return it for the pick six. That wasn't an issue of. I mean, that's the kind of ball he throws pretty much all the time. Anyway. Not in a lot of different circumstances. The one to Tyreek was not that open on that particular throw, and it was just a good play by the DB, and that's going to happen. Should we be concerned about the turnovers? Absolutely. And that's the one thing that on Tua's resume. At some point, if we look at the top QBs around the NFL, the touchdown pass to interception ratio. Unless I'm mistaken, is 22-10. That's not great. Yeah, you look at some of these quarterbacks I've seen, and even this year I haven't looked, but I think there's probably a dozen quarterbacks who have a better TD to INT ratio. And Omar's making a face, and that's going to be a concern because the Dolphins are not going to be able to overwhelm other teams with their offense like they did last week against Vegas. Like they did against the Jets.
They're in a lull. They're in a lull right now. Don't be disrespectful. They're still the number one.
They're in a lull against mediocre teams, and they're getting away with it.
And mediocre teams have gone out.
And here's the thing, though. So you're expecting
mediocre teams have gone out. You said mediocre team when Denver was a mediocre team. Now they're a playoff team. Like let's not disrespect. Yeah, these aren't Super Bowl contenders, but they're respectable NFL teams. Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders are going to go out and they're going to beat somebody. Maybe this week, maybe
and
next.
They won't make the playoffs.
Okay, so what? The wins that.
We're not talking about wins right now. That's got nothing to do with it. I'm precisely saying that you are winning because you can get away with stuff like that. When you play Dallas, Baltimore, and Buffalo at the end of the year, unless Buffalo is at playoff contention, you're not going to get away with turning up the ball over 3 times.
You're absolutely correct.
Okay.
No argument there. But still, let's focus on. Let's not look ahead to December, and let's not look ahead to the playoffs and sit here. Oh, we can't beat a good team. We should feel sorry for ourselves. Oh, we're playing so sloppy ball. Oh. No, take care of business. Yeah, you need to take care of business against the Raiders. You did. You need to take care of business against the Jets. You did. And everybody's going to sit here and say, "Oh, it was a sloppy win. It was a bad win." Like, did you blow them out or not? Okay, you blew them out. Let's take care of business against Washington next week.
Who said it was a sloppy win?
Okay, but
I'm saying that the offense right now is a concern in the way it's turning the ball over. And again, Omar, are we not? Here's the thing. It's great that they won. Are you not looking for the big picture? And the big picture is how far can this team get?
I'm not worried about how far can they get. I'm worried about getting them to the point where they can play good ball. And right now, we've sat here and we've agreed that the defense is right now carrying this team. Are they a championship caliber defense? Yeah, okay. Have championship caliber defense won with worse offenses? Yes, they have. Right now, the Dolphins have the number one offense in the NFL.
Not when they're turning the ball over. The championship caliber.
Are they still the number one offense in the NFL?
Again, because of what they've racked up. Yes, they're number one. Statistically, they're the number one offense. Right now, would you rather have – right now, we're going into a playoff game. Would you rather have the Frisco offense or the Dolphin offense?
I mean, don't compare – like, bro.
Or the Philly offense.
You want to compare the Dolphins to the best team in the NFL? Like, can you pick somebody else?
But you're the one who threw out number one offense.
Okay, pick somebody else. Give me another team.
They're the number one offense, but don't ask me to compare with that team. Pick somebody else. Come on.
No.
Come on now.
They're the number one team. They're the number one team.
They're number one team where?
Who's San Francisco?
Well, Philly's got the best record in the NFL by 2 games now. Yes, by 2 games now.
I put them head to head. I bet you 49ers wax Philly.
We'll find out soon enough. They play against each other in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that's good to know. But 395 yards is not something to turn your nose up at. It's not horrendous.
I completely agree with you on that point.
With a championship caliber defense, you can win with 395 yards of offense.
Not if you're turning the ball over 3 times.
Fair. I'm not even gonna deny that. Fair.
Okay, good.
We said it coming into this game. You got to cut down the turnovers. You got to cut down the turnovers. Okay, it doesn't help that Tua throws 2 ducks. Like,
I don't think I didn't see the and I said this while you were indisposed. I didn't see the Tyreek pick as a duck. It was good coverage. He wasn't particularly that wide open. It would have taken an absolute dart, and I think he put maybe a tad behind him. It wasn't a horrible throw. It was a good play by the DB. The Berrios was an absolute floater, but it was one of those where it was like a timing play, and the ball didn't come out quickly enough, and it gave Eccles a chance. This literally was one of those where he needed to throw to the spot quicker than he did, and he didn't.
Mm-hmm. This is why we pay Ogba $16 million a year. I think it's 15, but I get your point.
It's 15.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I hope he comes through. But again, and I'm going to put a bullseye on my shirt here when I say it was the Jets when they were in pass only mode that he got his sacks. I think Van Ginkel is going to get first dibs at that spot before Ogba will.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not because, again, let's not forget that Ogba either had very, very low snap counts on defense for several weeks if he even got on the field on defense. So
is Tua prone to second half season adjustments to his game, or is his recent performances on McDaniels or injuries? You know where my vote goes. I think there are tons of injuries on this defense that are watering down the team's production and performance. On this offense.
And yet you just finished telling me they're a top 5. They're number 1 offense in the NFL.
Yeah, because they're still number 1. You can't tell me I'm not number 1 when I'm ranked number 1.
But that's for the whole season. Are they right now the best offense in the NFL?
Okay. There are plenty of teams.
Statistically, for the whole season, they're number 1 offense in the NFL. Are they currently right now the best offense in the NFL?
No.
Okay.
Were they the best offense a month ago? No. But statistically, they were.
Okay.
And until I'm taken from that spot, I am. So continue. Like people want to poo-poo his game last week. Yeah, he turned the ball over. Still had 300 yards. Still had 2 touchdowns. This week, not that great. Not statistically impressive. But, you still converted 11 of 16 third downs. You still got 395 yards. You still rushed for over 100. You still rushed for what? What'd you rush for? You still rushed for 167 yards, 4.5 a carry. You ask any team in the NFL, except for the turnovers, if they would take those statistics without knowing the outcome of the game, and most would say yes. Now, cut the turnovers off.
Well, okay, that's just a minor little detail here.
Just a minor little detail. But to address the question, are teams catching up to the offense? Yes, it happens. The Dolphins are catching up to the Jets' offense. Like you put 10 games of film together.
Sorry, did you say the Dolphins are catching up to the Jets' offense?
Yes.
Oh,
the Dolphins figured it out.
FIU would have caught up to the Jets offense in week 3.
Yeah. I'm just saying, you put 10 games together, teams kind of figure it out.
Yes, I completely agree with you there.
And really, I know Dolphin fans or NFL fans don't want to hear this, but when you get to this point in the season, when you start hitting December games, it's really just a survivor's league. Who's got healthy players and who doesn't? And everybody knows what everybody's playing. The question is, can you stop it? And, right now, outside of this game, the Dolphins have been relatively healthy. Hopefully they don't lose too many more players to these injuries. I'm really concerned about Tehran, But we are where we are. You lost Jaylen. That's a season. It's a dunzo. God bless him in his recovery. But you got the pieces to make it work.
Okay. Let's move on. Mark, thank you very much. I'm very superstitious, Poop. I love you, but stop the talk of injuries. You talked our defense didn't have an injury. Now Phillips and Holland go down. I think Holland's going to be fine.
What did he get an injury designation?
I don't believe they ever pop up there. You can look at Twitter. I mean, it was either evaluated for a concussion or a stinger or one of those types of deals. But Javon's got to not lower the head when he's going to go make contact with a receiver. That was.
I don't tell.
Sorry, Mark. I'm not. I wish I had that kind of control over what's going to unfold. Otherwise, I could do a reverse jinx.
Actually, Javon talked after the game, so it can't be a concussion.
Okay, there you go. Maybe it was just a stinger. So no, I don't believe in super. I don't believe
Javon Holland called the turf at MetLife trash.
So does everybody who's ever played at MetLife. It's a complete joke. There are like 4 or 5 stadiums that have that kind of turf, and that one is a complete joke. But sorry, Mark. Unfortunately, we deal in facts, and injuries are part of the game. I don't know how I can stop talking about injuries. I'll do my best to make sure I try to avoid putting any kind of jinx. Hope that's a deal. Yeah. Funny, no. Oh, you beat me to that one. Sorry.
Javon called it trash.
Noel says, rough game when you got a referee spitting blood. Yeah. Got caught in friendly fire there where poor who was it? Michael Clemens, I think, was just trying to point at something and just boom, right across the mouth. And it's one of those that's completely accidental and boom.
Omar, I've been a Twitter fan for a few years. Thank you for keeping it real. I really don't keep it real. You and Alain have great chemistry and love the podcast. How many non-contact injuries before the NFL forces a team to use grass? I don't think you can force the Jets to use grass for the standpoint. That grass ain't gonna grow in MetLife Stadium. It's just not gonna grow. That's why they have the turf. I don't know how often they redo that turf, but clearly it needs to be redone.
Except it wouldn't this be the part where somebody would say, well, what about Green Bay, which is kind of cold too, has grass?
Okay. I mean,
no, I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know that the NFL would ever tell, or this might be an NFLPA fight.
And they've been fighting it and they've gotten nowhere.
It may be one of those where they give up some kind of concessions to the owners in the next collective bargaining agreement.
Oh no.
Or discussion. What?
They can't give up any more concessions. And that's probably 8 years from now.
It's now 6 years, 2030, but dude, there's always a way. There's always something that the owners could give them, right?
Mostert leads the league in rushing TDs. Congratulations, but he's probably not going to be the NFL's leading rusher. Let's look up
94 yards.
Yeah, but what did McCaffrey get yesterday? He's like 130 something behind McCaffrey.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. I mean, the dude's having a great year, and he's right there on the pace for 1,000. And doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle room, but he's on there if he can maintain the pace. So.
McCaffrey got 114 yesterday and 2 touchdowns.
Okay. What is Wilkins' pay now for next season? Oh, that dude's making himself some money.
It's called the franchise tag. You always had that threat, and that's pretty much what you're going to be riding it out on. If you're going to give him a multi-year deal, it's probably going to be the highest paid deal. So ahead of Quentin Williams, you're gonna make him ride the tag out and see if you can come to terms. And ultimately, Christian Wilkins proved himself right, and the Dolphins were wrong. If you'd assigned him to a multi-year
it depends what he was asking for.
That is true, but no matter what, he's going to get it now. He's at what?
Oh, no, he's had a massive year, and
he's had a massive year.
Dude, he's got 6.5 sacks. I mean, it's cray.
6.5. It's like, bro, that's big boy numbers. Props to him. He shut up everybody, including me.
Capped for life.
I'm not going to deny the fact that I said I didn't know if Christian was a sack artist. Well, clearly Christian's a sack artist.
Yep. Cap for life. What's it going to take for us to get you to do not all caps? Okay. Anyway, 6 sacks today and a pick six. It was actually 7 sacks. I hate to be that guy, but
You are that guy. Come on.
I'm going to be that guy. Okay, here we go. We addressed this before. We're going to do it again. Alexander, is Holland moving up in your opinions? Game-changing pick six. It's not just one play.
I would love to see, and I don't want to create standards for impact plays because that was an impact play, no matter what. That's probably one of the top plays of the NFL this season, top 10 plays in the NFL. Okay. That's it. Like, do I need to say more? Like, I would like to see those things more consistently. Make 4 of them a season, and I'm good.
And
okay?
here's the other thing too. For me, is I'm not, and I know some people, some of whom shall remain nameless, are all like about. Let me look at the piece of paper and stats. Okay, and if you're accusing us of doing that,
are you accusing?
I did not mention any names.
But you didn't have to. Was that at me?
Sometimes, but. And for me, it's not even about if you're accused, and if you're going to say, well, you're being a hypocrite because you do that with Holland. No, to me, it's a combination of everything. It's a combination of stats, a combination of analysis. More than anything else, it's what my eyeballs tell me. My eyeballs, which are old but have seen a crap load of football, and my eyeballs, do not tell me that Javon Holland's been the best, has played like the best safety in the NFL, as PFF likes to tweet out every 20 minutes. Yeah. Sorry, I don't see it. If you want, I'll make people happy and say it. Absolutely. That was a crazy game-changing play because the Dolphins gave the Jets life for no reason with that pick six. And could the game have changed if, that Paul just an incomplete at the end of the half and we go into the half 10-6 as opposed to 17-6? Probably not. The Jets offense is that ridiculously bad, but they would have gone in and I'll give you another one. And this is the small things, which is why the Jets are the Jets. First play of the game, they come out with energy. Quinnen Williams drops Raheem Mostert for a 4-yard loss. And you don't think that jacks up the everybody? There are other defensive linemen headbutts Liam Eichenberg because no, he blocked me too long. 15-yard penalty, erased a big play. And that, if you don't think that changes momentum, anyway, that had nothing to do with Javon Holland, but okay, go ahead.
G Furman says, I've learned when our team doesn't break the huddle by 15 seconds, Mark. P.S. When will offense learn Kohu is bubble screen proof?
Great point right there.
Well, I've learned when our team doesn't break the huddle in by 15 seconds. What have you learned? That it's going to be a penalty, or I don't understand what you've learned.
Spell trouble for the offense. I'm going to say because it's not flowing and it gets discombobulated.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a very good point. And then the Cater Kohu point is
I'll be back. Not a wandering toddler. I'll be back.
Okay. Cater Kohu, I've said from the start, to me, he just absolutely blows me away with his tackling ability. And that comes to the fore whenever he's out in space. At some point they're going to stop, or Cater's going to keep making tackles. Cap for life, I told you, stop with the all caps. Holland is him, bro. If only you knew how much I hate the phrase, he's him. Oy, but okay, you can say he's him. Like I said, my eyeballs tell me he's not, but okay. How about this? Darth Taylor, Javon Holland is a top safety in the NFL, but not the top safety. Okay. Top 5, top 6. Okay, no problem with that. I just my initial reaction when I see PFF at every turn put out that tweet that he's the top rated safety. My initial reaction is like, really? And I've seen safeties dominate games. I just don't see it. Do we go sign Shaq Leonard? I've heard Dallas and Philly, as far as Shaq Leonard is concerned. Don't know where he fits in with the Dolphins. Is David Long?
No, that doesn't make much sense. I think if they did anything, it would be somebody familiar with. Well, not really with their scheme. I'm thinking no, he's not going to be familiar with their scheme.
I mean, he'll be cheap now because his contract, now belongs completely to the Colts in a bad way.
The Shaq Leonard doesn't make sense if you're talking about who's going to replace.
No. Jaylen Phillips, no, they don't play the same position.
No, they don't play the same position. Shaq Leonard doesn't. Shaq Leonard isn't a need, in my opinion.
No, correct.
Mm-hmm.
David, thank you. Don't forget that the stadium is shared. 2 owners need to figure it out. Loving all the content, gentlemen. Keep it up. Here's to hoping the offense gets back to clicking soon. It's moving the ball. It's just a little bit sloppy at times. That's all. Oh God!
It just needs to not turn the ball over.
What?
It just needs to not turn the ball over.
That's getting sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where are we at?
I'm keep looking for. Absolutely. And Omar, I think you may be on the verge of owing apologies.
Oh, what you mean? From Eichenberg did his job. One thing I didn't like was they were giving him praise for Mostert's big run, and I'm like, he's like 3 yards in the backfield, and I was like,
but he cleared out the way. The Jets defender took a really bad angle, and Eichenberg just kind of wrote him out. But I mean, no, but he did his job.
Yeah.
Tua played well in the final 2 minutes before half. Needs to clean it up. Well,
absolutely.
Where Abraham Lincoln and Mrs. Lincoln in the play comes to mind, right?
I mean, the interceptions are. Tua himself says it. You got to clean that up. You got to clean up the turnovers, and he's got to do a better job. And I don't think he's not naive to the fact that he has to do a better job. That's just there, baby. I'm sorry, I'm feeding my toddler ice cream because she demanded it while we're doing the podcast, but she did agree to be quiet. So thank you, Mila.
We'll take our little wins. Sean, did you guys hear Mostert before the game say their call offense greatest show on surf? Name confirmed. Also Poop Jinx Tyreek injury too. LOL, JK, love you guys. Are the best.
When did you start talking about injuries? Because I don't.
Well, no, I mentioned last week, throughout the last week, that they didn't have a single solitary defensive player on the injury report, which was crazy.
Yeah.
In mid-November, and it still remains crazy. And if it's my fault that Jaylen Phillips popped his Achilles because I brought that up, I apologize to everybody, in particular Jaylen, because I love the kid, everything about him. Great dude. Class act on and off the field.
Absolutely.
Plays his ass off and is a good player on top.
What the heck is that?
What?
Look up for the Will Patterson.
Okay. Whoa. What is this? Whoa. Hold on. Let me find it. Oh, no, we got to get to that one immediately. I have to find it.
Yeah.
Why is it not showing up?
I don't know.
Guys, bear with us here. We're just and the bottom line is again, and maybe it's a character flaw or whatever. I could be, waving the pom-poms and say, hey, why the Dolphins won, they're 8-3 and that's great. Except
they're 8-3. Let's take care of business and get to 11.
But here again, Omar, to me is my sights are set higher than winning a game against a team that is insanely dysfunctional right now.
Yeah. And there are tons of teams in the NFL that get sloppy and don't take care of business and don't win these games.
Sure.
And I would say that the Dolphins were really struggling to put them away in the first half, and then the Javon Holland interception gave them a good decent amount of cushion, and then here we are. What was the final score?
34-13. Okay,
34-13. So you had what was the line? Okay, did you take care of the line? Okay, you whooped up on them. Good, congratulations. Let's keep it moving. Like, style points don't matter, man. Style points don't matter, and you don't.
But speaking of style points, you're missing my style point. That again, I'm thinking bigger picture than just beating the Jets, the lowly Jets. Will Patterson, dude, thank you very much.
Thank you. Mila, thanks you. Say thank you, Mila.
Thank you.
Thank you, Will.
Very nice. Well done. Hi, Mila.
Say hi.
Hi.
Assuming we get to the postseason, does McDaniel still go for 4th and short early in games, or should he take the 3 points? Here's the thing. Go ahead, Omar. You can address it.
You know who your coach is. You know exactly who he is. Yeah. So like this is who you signed up for. You got an ultra aggressive coach. Do you want him to selective be ultra aggressive? He went for field goal on the second try. Like, okay, he knows who he is. He's gonna okay, yes. You want to show them your foot? He wants to be, he's ultra aggressive. Let him be who he is. The one thing about Mike McDaniel that I've always liked and I've always respected is he's gonna be himself. He's not interested in kicking field goals. He's not interested in he wants to go for it on 4th and 3 and shorter.
But and here's the other point also. Again, to me, then this is why I don't buy analytics that say, okay, this down and distance from this yard line, you go for it or you don't, because that completely eliminates feel of the game and context. In this particular context, you're playing the New York Jets.
Your opponent couldn't do diddly squat.
It's 4th and 2 from the Jets' 4-yard line. You actually think if you miss it that the Jets are going to go 96 yards for a touchdown with that offense? It's like, go for the touchdown. In the playoffs, early in games, again, it depends who you play. If you get into a situation where you're thinking it's going to be a really low-scoring game for whatever reason, if the weather conditions are really bad, you get a day that's really, really windy and all that, then yeah, I think Mike McDaniel is smart enough where he would go against his tendency and take the points. More often than not, though, if everything is equal, he's going to go for the touchdown for the first down, and it serves him well usually.
He is who he is, man. And let's stop trying to change him. Like, did I sit there and say, yeah, you should have gotten the points on the first drive? Yeah, I did. But I was like, this is who the head coach of the team that I cover is. Yeah. I want
against the Jets from the 4-yard line where
I would like them to be down from the very beginning. I'm sorry. I would like to take the points.
And to me, this game was about put some distance as quickly and efficiently as you can, and then good luck to the Jets playing catch up with that offense.
I mean, the 3 points still counts as distance to me. So I want to be efficient on that drive and not basically create a turnover. Sorry, but a fourth and a fourth down that's not converted is still turnover. So
yeah,
I know you were going to argue the semantics of it, and
no, but you're not wrong, because you basically it's a turnover. It's because the terminology is a turnover on downs.
Yes.
Yeah, and this one too was. Tyreek's got to make the catch because there's a perfect throw.
I have to. I didn't see it from enough angles to be able to tell you if it was a perfect throw.
Take my word for it. Trust Uncle Poop.
Yeah.
Trust Uncle Poop. He's gonna get paid, but not 25 mil.
Who? Wilkins?
I assume it's going to be talking about Wilkins. Yeah. Or man, is he talking about Tua? Joking. Kidding.
All right. Yeah. I'm gonna let that slide. You know what's funny? Phillips should have asked Aaron Rodgers for his doctor's number and where to go to the darkness retreat. Funny. Even though I'm not laughing if I'm Jaylen Phillips. Man. You have to think. Yeah, I'm like, is that stadium gonna? I can't blame a turf for an injury. I just can't, especially a non-contact injury. I just can't. I can't.
That's precisely the point. It's not giving. If you look at the statistics, there are certain stadiums that produce more injuries. The one in Minnesota is a complete crap show. This one's a crap show, and I'm pretty sure that statistically, more guys get non-contact injuries at those stadiums than they would certainly at Hard Rock Stadium. I can't remember the last. No jinxing. No jinxing.
Hey, let me ask you a question: is Buffalo turf or not, or grass? I can't remember.
I'd have to ask my friend Google very quickly.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't hear that stadium having that many issues. And hell, if Buffalo can have grass, and I don't think they do have grass. I think it is turf.
Go ahead and address this one, Omar, while I look it up real quickly.
Well, A-Chain's still out. Yes, A-Chain's resting. Mike McDaniel's plan of having everybody healthy for elimination games, which actually probably don't start until probably week, I'm going to say 15 against the Jets, because by that time you should be able to lock up the AFC East which gets you into the playoffs. And then yes, week 16 against Dallas, and then Baltimore, and then the Bills. Those are ultimately going to decide your seeding. So playoff elimination games, book it December 17th. We begin the Mike McDaniel season.
Okay. Highmark Stadium is currently turf. The Bills' new stadium is going to have grass.
Is it going to be that grass that rolls out? Anyway, let me not.
I have no idea. I have to throw that one out there.
Why is Poop always negative? I actually don't.
Where'd you see that? No, I'm not negative. Get it? No, I'm not negative. Okay.
Why is Poop? Yeah. Why is Poop always negative? Team is 8-3. I don't think Poop's always negative. But I'm often accused of being negative. People hear what they want to hear, and they have selective hearing. I don't look at that as.
Because I start from the point that this is a very good team that's got really, really intriguing possibilities, and I'm looking at it from that lens, not from the lens of let's cheer the pom-poms. The Dolphins are 8-3. They were 8-3 last year.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's.
Let me ask you this question. What would be deemed as a successful season this year for the Miami Dolphins?
At the absolute minimum, bare minimum, win a playoff game.
Okay, that I agree with you. That is my
win division, win playoff game.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Give me a second.
That's the absolute minimum. And that's how I look. That's how I see things. So no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you see me as being negative. Like I said, I kind of look at things through a bigger scope. Matt, will Jackson miss a game for being thrown out? I don't believe so. Also don't believe. From what I saw, the replay wasn't really an egregious battle between him and Quinn and Williams. They got in each other's grill. And even I'd go as far as to say, based on what I saw, I'm not exactly sure what it was that either of those did.
I don't think they throw up people out. I don't think they suspend people for getting thrown out of games. Do they in the NFL?
Not automatically. I don't believe so. No.
Yeah.
Well, if you leave with your helmet 18 million times like Kareem Jackson does, but that's a different story.
McDaniel clearly has. I like this, Sean. McDaniel clearly has zero trust in the interior offensive line, and neither would I. What do you want me to do?
I'm assuming that's in reference to the fact that they never, ever, first of all, forget run. They never line up under center in 3rd and 1. I mean, it's crazy. And again, they had a 3rd and 1 today. They tried that little outlet play to Durham Smythe, and C.J. Mosley sniffed it out, an incomplete pass. But here's the problem with that, Omar. Though, if I'm gonna play devil's advocate over here and say, because you just said neither would you. Mm-hmm. Did you not say Connor Williams is one of the best centers in the NFL?
He is, but there are also 2 other players that play on his left and his right, and I don't really have confidence in either one of them.
How about when Robert Hunt's back in the lineup?
Okay, I'll consider it when Robert Hunt's back in the lineup.
But the Dolphins haven't. When's the last time we've seen him run up the middle on 3rd and 1?
I mean, when we get there, we'll get there. I don't think they would play the same way if they had Robert Hunt and Isaiah Wynn on the interior next to Connor Williams. But we've rarely seen that, so let's not pretend like we have.
Whoa. Sorry. No, hold on. I'm going to put this one up here real quick. You may need to send another text or message to clarify. It was a knee. They said, I know you're not talking about Jaylen Phillips because they literally said it was an Achilles.
Yes.
The Dolphins. So
mm-hmm.
I don't know what that was. Go ahead. Put the one you're going to put up.
No, I canceled that one. I don't want it.
You don't want it?
No. Were you surprised that the 2nd and 3rd string O-line played so well with the running game at the end of the game? No, because the Jets usually tire out at the end of the game and are on fumes because they played so many snaps. Was the Jets defense tired at the end of the game? Absolutely. That and when they saw people go down in this, what I would call a body bag game, and yes, let me get to Eddie's question because I saw it earlier. Was this a body bag game? This game, a body bag game for the Fins. The end of the game couldn't come quite quick enough. there's just games in the NFL where you're going to lose players to season-ending injuries. I don't think the Jets lost anybody, unless I'm sadly mistaken. Yeah, you lost Jaylen Phillips, but it's not like it was a contact injury. That was just a fluky situation that happens in the NFL. It's a gladiator sport. It's a very physical sport, and guys suffer season-ending injuries without ever having contact. Jaylen Phillips, and the funny thing is, this guy looks like a Greek god because he works out so much and is built and sculpted. And you would think to yourself that there's nothing that could go wrong with his body, and here his body is betraying him. And it's just sad to see, but this is the reality of the sport that they play.
But that's a fluke, and it almost. I'm thinking back to Cameron Wake, was another guy who was basically his muscles had muscles, and he also popped an Achilles tendon.
Yeah,
you know.
Firearms Training says, will we get rid of Armstead after the season? He can't seem to stay on the field. Oh yeah, Omar, I miss our days in the press box in Jacksonville. Okay. I'm sure you remember me. I don't at this present moment. Jacksonville.
Oh, that hurts.
I'm sorry.
No, they're not getting rid of the Teron Armstead, I don't believe. Do you think they will?
No. I think he's got contract guaranteed. Remember when you restructure contracts to create more cap space, you're basically committing to a player for a longer period of time. And I believe the Dolphins are committed to Teron financially next season. And if they restructure his contract again to create additional space, which is certainly a strong possibility, they're probably going to have to restructure a number of players, including Jalen Ramsey, which is pretty much a layup. They're probably going to have to restructure Zach Sealer. They're probably going to have to restructure Durham Smythe. All the guys that have existing contracts, probably restructure Teron and Tyreek. That just buys them some time and pushes the credit card debt a little bit further down the line. But there's no way that you're not going to have to keep this team together, because you're going to have to keep this team together if you ultimately don't finish at your final destination, which is the Super Bowl. And I'm going to be candidly honest, and at the rate they're playing offensively right now, they're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. Now, am I going to say that they're a disaster? No, but they're not playing Super Bowl caliber offense right now.
Nope. With Tua, I could be wrong. Thank you, Pride 909. With Tua, I could be wrong, but I always noticed the last couple of years towards the end of the season comes a little bit less strong with his arm. And I always wonder if it's the hip getting tired.
It's not the hip. We can't blame it on the hip. Ryan Fitzpatrick's arm got tired during the season. And I would say Ryan Fitzpatrick has a comparable arm to Tua. And I think that their arms do get tired at some point during the season. And this might be where it is. And maybe he needs to go not throwing the football from Friday up until next week, Thursday. Stop.
They're coming off their bye. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I refuse to buy the arm. First of all, getting tired. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. No, the hip is like, no. And then the arm getting tired again. They're 2 weeks off their bye. I'm sorry, not buying it.
I'm sorry. I have to acknowledge what my eyes see, and I see a tired arm.
Okay, no, you're better. Dale Smith, thank you very much. DDW Raid. I have no idea what that means. Why do people want to kill Tua on turnovers, but not any other quarterbacks? They kill every quarterback on turnovers. I don't know. Omar, you may want to take that one. I don't see it. Every quarterback.
I'm not comparing Tua to every other quarterback. I'm comparing Tua to Tua, and Tua needs to cut down the turnovers. And I'm sorry, he's not going to be the quarterback that he has the potential to be if he continues to turn the ball over. So,
John, we're always glass half full. What offense is really killing it? Well, Dallas certainly killed it yesterday. The 49ers killed it yesterday. Not like the Dolphins is not stinking up the joint, but it's 3 turnovers against the Raiders, 3 turnovers against the Jets. And it didn't cost them the game in either case. It made the end of the game against Vegas unnecessarily tight in a game where the Dolphins clearly were the better team. And it made the game unnecessarily tight, if only for a very brief moment against the Jets. So no, but yeah, there are offenses there. But you're right, though. There are also a lot of offenses that are not killing it. The offense around the league is not performing particularly well, but there are some offenses that are really killing it. Let's we got here. We need the Bills to beat the Chiefs. Got to root for them. Yeah, if the goal's a number 1 overall seed, KC needs to lose at some point. Correct. And the Chiefs also have, they have the Bills at home. They also have Cincinnati at home, which would have been a lot tougher game had Joe Burrow still been available. Could the game at Green Bay be tricky? Green Bay sure looked good on Thanksgiving with Jordan Love playing some really, really good ball. And their defense kind of dominated that Detroit Lions offensive line, which is one of the really good ones in the NFL. So I think that game has become a lot trickier than maybe we thought at some point.
What game?
Kansas City at Green Bay, which to me all along it looked like a slam dunk. And now the way I saw Green Bay look on Thanksgiving yesterday, it could be tricky. I mean, did you see that? Did you see any of that Thanksgiving Day game?
Mm-hmm.
Did you not see the Green Bay pass rush?
I just thought the Lions were frauds. We'll see.
They're 8-3. Are the Dolphins frauds? Detroit won at Kansas City. Dolphins lost at Kansas City.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not ready to put Detroit in the same category as Philly or San Francisco. Not even close to it. But I know
that means Dolphins are frauds too.
Either. Say what?
Yeah. I said that means Dolphins are frauds too. I'm not. I mean, there's Kansas City, there's Philadelphia, there's the 49ers, then there's everybody else. I'm missing somebody?
Sorry, I don't agree.
Okay, who am I missing?
I don't think Kansas City is in the AFC. I don't think Kansas City is head and shoulders above everybody. I think you could put in a hat Kansas City, Baltimore. I think the Dolphins belong in the conversation. Jacksonville, I'm still iffy. Cleveland, I have to see what kind of quarterback play they get, but they have a really good offensive line and their defense is excellent.
How many teams, Dr. Q?
No, that was Omar. Oh, sorry, you were playing the.
How many teams does Omar think has 2 good receivers, let alone 3? Okay. I didn't say they needed 3 good receivers. What I said was that they need to find a third option for their passing game or for their offense. You choose. And I think Raheem is a great third option, and he's getting close to 1,000 yards. He's also a pass catching back. But if you haven't figured it out yet, Raheem is pretty much on fumes heading into the final stretch of the season. And if you don't find somebody else to relieve him and give him some breathers and give him some rest, and, even acknowledge that they took snaps away from him in practice this week just because they're trying to get him to the point where he could finish out the season. So it's a balancing act. It's a dance. And right now you need to find somebody to step up and become a third weapon in a passing game. Am I the only person who sees this? Like, everybody keys in on Tyreek. Great. Congratulations to Jaylen Waddle for actually having a season that is Jaylen Waddle-esque. Yes, he's on pace for 1,000 yards. Yes, he got over 3,000 yards in his career today, but that's not Jaylen Waddle we know. Have you seen the Jaylen Waddle that we know this season?
No, but they're also not targeting him the same way, and he also has been nicked all year.
That's fair.
But you're right though. They haven't used him, and they've also, as much as they made a concerted effort to target Tyreek last year, it's even more pronounced this year.
Let me address this. Giovanni says, do you think if Tua had a stronger arm that this offense would be more efficient, or is timing the biggest factor in the success of this offense?
No, the bigger factor.
The bigger factor.
Yeah.
Tua's arm is strong enough. If he had a stronger arm, he'd probably try to throw more dangerous passes. I think it's just fine the way that it is. And it's hopefully it doesn't decline. Tua's arm strength is not the problem. And I will say this: give me accuracy and precision passing over arm strength every single day. I will take that. And Tua is one of the most accurate passers in the NFL.
I am shocked by your answer. Shocked, I tell you. Whoa, leave it up. Can I not address that question?
I apologize to you, sir.
That's okay.
Please.
Giovanni, yes, It's sad. It's really hurts me, but I'm going to agree with most of what Omar just said. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
What?
Yes. Timing is a bigger factor in the success of this offense. Absolutely. Do I wish Tua had a stronger arm? Yes, absolutely. There are certain throws. For example, the throw to Braxton Berrios on the sideline, maybe he puts more zip on it and then doesn't get picked up.
Yeah, we've seen that. Remember the practice we saw that duck to Braxton. It was a similar duck like that.
Oh yeah. It's a tough. It was a touch pass in a situation that required more zip.
It's not a throw that he should throw or he can throw on a regular basis. That's my opinion, and that doesn't change. And
no, correct. But yeah, no, I completely agree. And yes, I'm with Omar. I will take the accurate passer over the strong arm passer. I'm very demanding. I like to have both if possible.
It's time to hit the. Did we answer this one already? It's time to hit the panic button on Tua's turnovers. I've always defended. No, yeah, we answered that one. Did it repost?
There's no panic button to push it.
No, my quit.
What do we got here?
My quit. No.
It's terrible off schedule.
Come on, baby.
Ooh, there are like a lot of Tua bashing going on here. I will not have Tua bashing here.
No,
we don't do this.
That's not acceptable. We're not gonna sit here and bash Tua. Come.
What do we got here? Joe Fry.
Remember to Omar, no pun. We will never have a black and white answer to our slot position. Wilson, River, Berrios, Claypool, Chosen are being utilized by committee and by injury reports. Okay. I didn't say we need slot. I mean, let's think about it. How often is Tyreek out of the game? Tyreek isn't playing every snap. Like there has to be somebody else stepping up when Tyreek is not in the game. There goes Omar with his whack analysis. There's nothing wrong with his arm. Okay. All right. Cool. I've only watched football for 15 years.
Okay. Brian, yes, we're going to read your super, and thank you very much. The Dolphins scored the most points on the Jets this season, yet our offense is broken. May not be up to standards, but not as bad as some say. You said the offense was broken, Brian. You never said the offense was broken.
It's not humming the way that it usually is humming.
There you go.
The standards are relatively high when you're the number one offense in the NFL. They got to get their groove back. They will admit and acknowledge that they're not playing at their maximum level. They're
Correct.
Not their efficiency level.
Correct. It's not broken, but 3 turnovers in each of the last 2 games. That's not
no.
Turnovers down the stretch or in the playoffs.
Yeah. Does Phillips' injury change Ogba and Van Ginkel's future with the Dolphins? Absolutely not. Van Ginkel will be signing for the most money that he can possibly get. He'll probably get a multi-year offer somewhere. And then Ogba, goodness gracious, Ogba will be playing for somebody else as soon as the season ends. Unless
over the final 6 games of the season, he racks up like 12 sacks or something.
Not a chance. Not even going to happen. I'm not even going to consider this preposterous theory that you have.
That he couldn't get 12 sacks in the final 6 games?
He's not getting 6 sacks in the final 6 games.
There you go. It's an interesting one. That's an interesting one.
Okay.
Derek Barnett is being released by the Eagles. He can help. The thing with him, though, is I'd have to check in with. I have friends. I have tons of friends who are on the Eagles, and I think he's absolutely done practically nothing all year. So I don't know that he can help. He's a name though because he's a former first-round pick, but I don't know that he's done a whole lot. Omar, you like no, yes, no, maybe.
Who? What?
Derek Barnett? No, not a fan.
I'm all right. Whatever.
Okay. Okay. Wish the carry ratio was closer for Wilson and Mostert. You can tell Mostert isn't right, even with a long touchdown run. He looked perfectly fine when he ran the ball.
He looked fine. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take for him to get to the. He's boy that I mean, I'm glad they got a lot of days after this game because he needs some rest. He really truly does need some rest. That body is banged up. Omar, come on to comprehend what the man is talking about. What? Try to comprehend what the man is talking about. You're smarter than it. I have no idea what he's talking about.
No, and there's somebody here who put a comment that I'm not going to put up. I'm not going to glorify it. Like literally talking about how we're insufferable. And dude,
Okay.
why are you here? Seriously, nobody's forcing you. So seriously, you know who you are. What do we got here? Akeem Hicks. No. Dr. DC Smith. No. Go back.
I can't. Okay, I can't. You gotta pull it up.
Okay, well, somebody said Akeem Hicks, ? Move Wilkins some to D. No. The Dolphins defense is basically interior defensive linemen. That's Raekwon Davis, Zach Sealer, Christian Wilkins. Edge guys, Phillips, Chubb, Andrew Van Ginkel, Agba. Wilkins is not an edge guy. That doesn't work.
Mm.
You had
Adam says they stuck with the run. I'll take the win. I mean, who is really turning their nose up at the victory over the Jets? A big victory. What is it? 20-point victory?
No, this is where maybe again we're dissecting the game. We're
getting really nitpicky.
Very simple and go. Dolphins won. Yay, they're 8-3. Bye, guys. I mean, that's not exactly analysis. We're kind of like looking big picture. I love this one here. Love it. PFF
I thank you. PFF is not the gospel. You're absolutely correct. With Tua, I could be wrong, but it always notices the last.
We had that one.
Okay. All right. My bad. I'm playing catch up. Wasted first half timeouts. Aaron Rod, man, these.
I got one on the screen here. I think the Dolphins are the best tackling cornerbacks. X and Ramsey aren't afraid to get their noses dirty. They're not in Cater Kohu's league.
No, X ain't interested in tackling. Love X, but he ain't interested in tackling. Just because he made one big hit on a screenplay he identified, that doesn't mean he likes tackling. X is a baller, man.
He's the one who got Jerome Baker his pick. If you saw the play, he's got his hand in there.
Tua's looking like a 25-year QB right now. Yes, I like that. I like that very much. Tua is an accurate quarterback, man. Tua right now. Tua's not playing at the level that I would expect him to play at this point in the season. This is when you need to be playing at your best, and this is when he's playing at his worst. And he knows it. He's going to be ultra critical of himself, and he's going to fix it. I know he is because he's got it in him. He's got it in him.
My Lord, you sound like his agent, but okay. Chris, I mean, you're like, I know he's going to do it because
I know he's got it in him. But listen.
We'll find out.
This guy was destined for greatness. Like, he's not playing at a greatness level right now, and his teammates believe in him. His coaches believe in him. Listen, there's a next level for you, Tua. You just got to unlock it. And right now, I don't know what's holding you back, but this ain't it, man. This is not it. You are the one that talks about Super Bowl. You don't want to deny that this is a Super Bowl talented team. Okay, well, right now you're not looking like a Super Bowl talented quarterback. You gotta take it up another notch and another level. And from Kansas City to the Eagles to the turnovers of recently, this is not you, brother. Like you could play better than you are. And I'm not saying that you're holding this team back, but you're holding this team back.
Oh boy, okay. Whoa, there you go, Omar. This one's got to be you.
Oh,
nope. I'll address it, then Omar can tackle it when he comes back. Actually, first, let's go. I'm going to address Melvin Ingram. That's an interesting name. I don't know if he's got any interest in playing. Would the Dolphins explore the idea of signing him if he were interested in playing? It's an interesting name. I would tell you, though, they were towards the end of the season last year, and I don't know if it was because he was wearing down or what, but his production was not necessarily that overwhelming. So, Mr. Charles, thank you very much. This Dolphin fan base is soft. Let's be honest. Tua's arm is subpar. He underthrows players all the time, and on short passes, he doesn't have zip. I am going to say what I say a lot of times. I don't necessarily disagree with that. In terms of NFL quarterbacks, I don't think his arm is average at best, but he is very, very accurate. And this offense certainly relies more on accuracy than it does on arm strength. So for the most part, he can get the job done. But I'll let Omar tackle the rest of that one if he wants to push back on it. I think Omar has said that pretty much just basically his arm is strong enough, and so we got Derek. Joe Flacco had it in him too. Not quite sure what that means. I do know Joe Flacco was the quarterback for a Super Bowl. I'm going to address this one right here. Oh my Lord. Triple H. Poop does not like Tua at all. That's not true. That is not true. Just because I talk about Tua in terms of positives and in terms of negatives, where some fans only want to hear nothing, don't want to hear anything but positives, does not make me a quote-unquote Tua hater or mean that I do not like Tua at all. I think Tua is a very good quarterback, but he's got limitations such as arm strength and ability to create off schedule. And this is where I know somebody in the comments going to put either like notice of a play that he did off schedule one time. It's all about doing it consistently. Okay. But please spare me because it really gets old. This idea that I don't like Tua at all. I don't like, I'll be honest. I don't like a lot of his fans who can't take anything said about him if it's not pure, unadulterated praise, flowers all over the place.
Robbie Miller says, do you think we face Rodgers in the next Jets game? I say yes.
I say no. I say he looks at that offensive line. He's like, hell no, you're not putting me back there. And they're 4-7 now. I don't even know who they have on their schedule.
What happened to tight end motions and sneaks in the short yardage out of the shotgun?
Excellent question.
Holland had a knee.
Who said that?
The people who are commenting on here that's saying Holland had a knee.
That's who they were saying had a knee. Let's go ahead and then tackle another question. I'll look at it real quick.
What player will benefit the most from a mini bye week? Durham Smythe, Alec Ingold, I think Chase Claypool, Raheem Mostert. Oh my God, if that guy doesn't stop practicing, like you got to make it to Sunday, bro. And Raheem is. Man, I want Raheem to be 1,000-yard rusher, and at this point, they need to get him some relief work. They need somebody else to spell him because we are grinding him into the point where he's like a tire, and there's about to be no tread left on it. Which
how about that? That's correct. It said Javon Holland injury questionable to return. Again, the fact that he addressed the media after the game certainly would be seen as a good time. You know what? I just remembered that score 34-13 had a very quick flashback because it was another standalone game against the New York Jets when the Dolphins made the playoffs in 2016. They won 34-13. I have no idea what that came up to me. Matt Moore had a big game that day. What do we got here? Nope. I think we addressed this.
Okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this because I'm like, Jesus, I don't know how many hours I'm behind in this chat. Oh, okay, I think I'm at the bottom. I agree with Poupart. What do you agree with Poupart? Definitely no contract extension for Tua. Oh, definitely a contract extension. Don't be denial. Don't be in denial, scummy. Don't be in denial. Should
we not let the season play out though first?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when he's the number one passer rated quarterback, he'll get his $50 million deal, and you'll cry and sob and say, "Oh, you should have waited." And he'll get his $200 million in guaranteed money, and then he'll just continue to extend to restructure the contract to buy the team cap space. This is the game we play, man. Stop denying it on yourself.
No, but here's the thing, though, dude. I admire your never-ending loyalty. For me, you're always, this is what's going to happen. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. He's going to be elite and all that. And for me, it's like.
First you said, oh, can he stay healthy for a season? Okay, well, he's proven he could stay healthy. He's one of the most durable quarterbacks in the NFL. Let's just continue on this path. You got one more month left. Let's make it happen. All right.
Okay, but Omar, are you okay with some of us who are going to say, let's see it happen first before we talk about big contracts and all that?
Yeah, and it's going to happen. And when it happens, then I don't want to hear nothing. Like, I don't want to hear nothing. He's going to stay healthy. He's going to be the top-rated passer. Let's hope that he wins some critical game, deciding games that get them home field advantage. Let's hope he wins a playoff game. And then when he does, $50 million, $49 million, I'll even be considering to go $48 million a year. Like, suck it up, put your big boy pants on, and sign the check. Like,
that's fine, but this is like, to me as an analyst, I say, slow your roll, let it happen before, because
okay.
you're being you're getting into the prediction business here, and which is fine. I'm not getting into the prediction business when it comes to that particular, because the stats are there, Omar, and you know damn well the stats are there that we need to see it happen in December/January, because they're not there yet.
Yes. Let me. What's the difference between Tua hater and Tua analyst?
No, that's not. He didn't ask that. He said there's a big difference with that. And if you're, I would hope that you were suggesting that I'm a Tua analyst, and if that's the case,
you're not a Tua hater. You're an analyst. I thought Liam did a decent job today. Your thoughts, please. I would rather wait till the coach's film. I'm getting the alphabets behind me. I don't know if you can hear it. All right. I apologize, folks, but family's on vacation out of the country, and I have my daughter. So
it's all good.
Yeah. Once again, the first thing the national media says whenever discussing the Dolphins is that they haven't beaten a team with a winning record. The same true for the Cowboys, but it's never brought up. Okay.
Not true.
I don't worry about the Cowboys.
No, and it's also not true, because I saw a graphic say exactly the same thing, that they haven't beaten anybody. And as Omar once said, you got to beat who you play. And the other question also is, what do you look like? What do you look like when you play a really good team? And I can tell you the Cowboys scored a lot of big points when they played the Eagles, even though they lost, because they had a chance to win at the end of the game, and maybe they should have won the game, but they didn't. And I'm not necessarily big on this idea of like the persecution of everybody hates the Dolphins, everybody hates Tua.
No, that's ridiculous. But I will say this. They got to get to another level. If you want to be the team that you think you are and that you claim to be, you got to get to another level, and they're not there yet. And Tua's holding them back. And Tua can play better. He can be better. And until he dials down those turnovers, they're not going to be the team that they have the potential to be. And Tua can be that quarterback. He's got to dial it in. And I know he has that in. So
Cash has $50 million plus for Tua next year. Okay.
I don't know about the plus, but $50 million.
Okay, I am going to read something here. This is not me saying it. This is not. I want to preface that by saying this.
Okay.
And so let me find it.
Find it.
The Athletic had a very interesting story here talking about quarterback and their contract situations. This is like NFL executives. And for those who rag on NFL executives not putting their names on comments that they make, you have to understand how this works.
Okay. If you're going to be here, you're not going to make
Which is basically nobody's going to say anything on the record that doesn't pertain to their team, because that's just not how it works. Okay. That doesn't make their comments any less valid. This was the analysis with Tua.
My web is gone. No. Yeah.
All right. What did they say?
Right, look, this was analysis on Tua. Tagovailoa's ability to stay healthy through a full season could affect the outlook. The Dolphins could decide to let him. Can I finish before you shake your head?
Like no duh, Sherlock.
Okay, hold on, Ken. I'm not done yet.
All right, cool.
The Dolphins could decide to let him play 2024 on his fifth-year option, but the right kind of extension could make sense for all. As a contract negotiator from another team put it.
I can't, Mila. I can't hear. Can you be quiet for 1 second? Go ahead. Read it again.
As a contract negotiator from another team put it, if Lawrence's deal comes in among the top three, Tua's extension could rank 7th or 8th.
Whatever. That's ridiculous.
Okay.
Lawrence ain't gonna win nothing. but he's going to get a ridiculous deal.
Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Hey, you're in the prediction business. That's fine. That's cool.
it's just the next man. It's just the next man up for the next contract, and Tua is the next man up, and then Lawrence.
And I have said there's no way in hell he surpasses Joe Burrow.
Okay, I might agree with you on that, but so what?
He's not sliding in there.
Herbert.
That's my prediction.
He'll definitely surpass Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts,
Okay.
and Jalen Hurts and Lamar Jackson. Okay, and
we'll agree to disagree.
We will. All right, I got to wrap because I got to get out of here. I got a toddler to watch who was tired of doing this.
I completely agree. We will be back tomorrow. Mike McDaniel is speaking with the media. Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, he's speaking tomorrow afternoon at 1, so we'll do something tomorrow after that. Let me address this last one real quickly. Just UNMD 12, if not 2, where do we find another top 10 QB? Again, they have him under control for 2024 on the 5th-year option, so there's no.
I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Tua's
going to be great. Tua's headed straight to the Hall of Fame. Omar has decreed it, and he's going to lead the Dolphins. We're not
going to sit here and Tua's not find another top 10 QB. Are you serious? Like, let's be. Stop.
It's not. That's down the road anyway. So
down the road.
Plus,
stop.
Omar.
Stop. Like, he's going to get his contract. They love Tua. You knew they loved Tua before they even played the season. Like, he's got too many intangibles.
You don't think they're going to revisit the idea if again the performance takes a dive in December and January?
Stop.
Okay, how dare I? I'm no, and this is where we got.
Let's play December. Let's play December and see how this plays out. Let's play this December out and see how this plays out. This is
Omar. Omar.
Yeah.
Except you're the one who keeps talking about top contract extension. He's going to get together. It's going to But dude, you can't have it both ways and say let it play out when what if that doesn't happen comes on.
Okay, well we'll see. Even if it doesn't happen and he doesn't win, if he doesn't win a single game in December, trust me, you're still signing him to an extension. It might be 45 million, not 50. Oh well, you still signed him to an extension. Like Tua is your quarterback.
Omar said that.
Tua is your quarterback.
Omar Tua lover.
Tua is your quarterback. You're not gonna find it. Nobody's gonna come play for the Miami Dolphins. You're not gonna draft another quarterback because you feel sorry that you no. Tua is your quarterback. Like, it is what it is. If they were gonna draft a quarterback, they would have did last year. Tua is your quarterback. So, all right.
Okay. That's on that note. On Omar's note, because I'm of the.
Oh yeah, you want to shop around. You want to.
I did. Dude, did I say that? Did I say that?
All right.
Okay, you're stamping greatness, elite everything on him. I'm not ready to do that.
I expect him to be great, even if he doesn't get there this year. He's still your quarterback, and you're still going to invest in him, and you're going to play like it's the greatest thing in the world.
And to me, you have to see how it plays out before you make those decisions. And I'm going to do the head shake too, so if that makes it sound more convincing. So this is where, again, we don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah, go find another.
And no, that doesn't mean. By the way, no, that doesn't mean I'm a Tua hater. That means I want to see the desired results at the.
You want to see December games? Okay, well, we're in December. Let's rock and roll. Let's see it. Let's see it. We need to see it.
We'll find out.
Yeah, let's see it because it like we've been waiting for December. Okay, well, December's here. He's healthy. December's here. Let's see it.
Okay.
All right, folks.
So let's hope December is better than November.
Oh, you just kept winning in November. All right. All right. On that note, we're out. Did he win or not?
No, the Dolphins won. It's a team game. Seriously.
All right.
Please don't do that to me. Don't piss me off on the way out. And on that note,
goodbye.
By the way, yes, I despise one loss as a record.
Whatever.
God damn it, man.